voice my support, my undying support for him, for the Rocky Mount Police Department, for my man Clee. He's a Griffon for life, you know, supported the football team throughout their journey to the state championship. So, you know, I want to thank him and also thank Mr. Stone for the efforts that he's putting into revitalizing and taking care of crime within the community over in Nash County. The one thing that I want to talk to you guys about is from a business perspective, how crime really affects a business. And you know, having a business downtown Rocky Mount is not an easy thing now. You know, the perception that exists within the community is not a good perception. The city is doing everything in their power to change their perception, but you know, it's still kind of difficult to change people's minds. Whenever there's a murder in Rocky Mount, Cool Geeks happens to be one of the few black businesses that tends to get customers from all different sides, whether white, black. You know, my customer split is probably 60% black, 40% white. Everyone loves technology, so when it comes to repairing a computer, most people don't care what color you are, they just care about how well you do the job. And whenever there is a murder or a serious crime in Rocky Mount, I can see my customer base the following week decrease about 50%. And it's already tough enough, you know, to be an entrepreneur and, you know, to deal with the perception within the community of murder mount and things happen downtown, you know, that makes it even harder, even though some of those perceptions are not true. So I implore a lot of the officers and to just work together and do whatever you can so that, you know, young entrepreneurs like myself can have an opportunity to give jobs and opportunities to young people. One thing that I want to speak to you guys about is to take advantage of the local community centers, South Rocky Mount, OIC, and start teaching kids trades. There's a lot of, you know, I put a mentorship program on Facebook last month, you know, to invite some young area kids to come in Cool Geeks and learn a little bit about computers, and so that they can have a trade where even if they don't have a job, they got the capabilities of being able to support themselves the remainder of their lives. And, you know, so I implore, you know, city officials, you know, police officers, guys to really push that to brick masonry, being an electrician, invite some local electricians to come in and hold classes at community centers. I really, you know, would like to see that happen. I'm disappointed now. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm really disappointed, and some of the things that, you know, I've been, you know, hearing myself and reading in the newspaper, and you know, and it's hard for me to condemn or, you know, really criticize another brother. And I think our community is suffering from something right now, and it's called the race to the race, where everything is about race, everything is about black, everything is about white, it's about one side against each other. Well, for a young man who runs his own business, whenever I hear a local politician, whenever I hear local law enforcement talk openly and candidly about race, that shows me that they're ignorant and they don't have anything else to talk about. So, you know, and I'm not crazy. I know race exists within our community, but there's another side that needs to be focused on. And, you know, because at the end of the day, the only people that's going to be hurt is going to be us. And, you know, so I'm not here to bash anybody, you know, and I just want us to think on a different level and to have a solution to a problem instead of always pointing at color and using color to justify a problem. I'm bothered by, you know, some of the things the crime reported. That bothers me. It's an elephant in the room right here today. Some of these people didn't come here to hear about programs and things like that we're doing. We've heard all that before. Some of you are concerned about the statistics and the way that crime is reported in this area. And, you know, Chief Moore's a great guy. I love you to death, brother. You use my business, you supported my business, I love you to death. But you got to do better. And you spoke earlier about talking over people's heads and things like that. Some part of me don't think you talk over people's heads. Sometimes I think you talk just to kind of hear yourself talk. And there needs to be some action that's behind that. And, you know, we don't need in Rocky Mount right now, we don't need a CEO police chief. We need somebody who's going to roll up their sleeves like Mr. Atkins isn't afraid to do. Nash County Sheriff Mr. Stone isn't afraid to do. You know, we need somebody to roll up their sleeves and get out in the community and touch base with people in the community. And, you know, we don't need a CEO, police chief in Rocky Mount. We need somebody that's going to work right hand in hand. It troubled me when I saw that some officers in the paper, you know, spoke out against some of the things that were going on. To me, that shows that there's a disconnect in the ranks somewhere. I don't care how you put it, how you try to sugarcoat it, that shows me that there's a disconnect between upper management and the officers that needs to be addressed and needs to be taken care of. And, you know, I'm going to support you until the end, Mr. Moore, and, you know, I wish that everything, you know, would pan out, you know, as people continue to investigate that. But one thing, too, sometimes at some point, man, I want you to take responsibility for some stuff. You stood up here, you know, a minute ago, and, you know, you still point blame, you know, to other statistics and all that, you know. At some point, man, take responsibility. I haven't heard you once in the newspaper. I haven't heard you once, you know, say, hey, my name is Chief Moore. I'm the police chief of Rocky Mount. I take full responsibility for the crime and things that are going on in Rocky Mount. I'm going to do everything in my power to take care of that. You know, when I read in the paper, you were pointing the finger at the people that you know, took the statistics. That troubled me. And this is coming from a business owner who worked his tail off in this community to establish a business. And I just want those things to be addressed. I want you to do better. I want you to remain in this community. I just want, you know, this is just my concern. There's no offense against you. I still think you're a good brother. And, you know, but I just want to bring this out. And I hope that, you know, me saying this don't allow you guys to look at me differently, you know, not to support my business. But, you know, at some point, you know, I just wanted to say that. And so thank you very much.
I used to live over in downtown, so I appreciate him coming in, and I love him. He was my neighbor for almost 2 years, so when I first came. And I was going to address some of the things that Camillus was talking about. But one of the things I'm going to say, take responsibility for, I do not lie. I do not lie. Never lie. Nobody's ever challenged my credibility. The difference is that I don't own gallons of ink to print a paper. When we try to tell the truth, the reporters and the editors dictate what goes in the paper. That's our fact and our reality. Our reality is that we live in one of the highest crime cities in the state. It's been that way for decades. But yet, we've made tremendous progress in decreasing crime in the city. That is a fact. That's an undeniable fact. I wish we had 4 or 5 media outlets in Rocky Mount, whereas if one media outlet doesn't give you a fair shake, you can go to another. That's a fact. Those are facts. The men and women in Rocky Mount Police Department, we work in the environment that we have. We work in the environment we have, and we try to give the best policing services in the country. We don't benchmark against anybody regionally or locally. We try to benchmark against the best police departments in the country. What are they doing to provide constitutional and just policing to their citizens? When I first came, I realized something. Until I came here, I thought further up eastern North Carolina, I'm not going to name the city, but there's another city in eastern North Carolina that I thought was the poorest place I'd ever seen. Traveling from Wilmington, going to Greenville, I thought this eastern North Carolina city had a lot of poverty. But when I first came here, I realized that there was tremendous poverty in this community. It overwhelmed me. And then I saw that it didn't seem like we had any hope. So one of the things we talked about is, what are the policing practices that are abusive and intrusive? Let's get rid of them. So we get rid of the jump out squads and things like that. Things that you think about that later became what was known as stop and frisk in New York. All of those type of policies, let's get rid of them and see if we can police our citizens constitutionally and fairly and give them dignity. Say, hey, we want you to have one of the best police departments in the state. That's why I implemented, we were one of the first 5 police departments to train our officers in implicit bias training. Even Chief Deputy Medina with Nash County, he was a lieutenant at Rocky Mount. He was one of our trainers, one of the first 5 in the state. There's 500 police agencies in the state. So we were the first 1% at my direction. We were one of the first 1% to implement something called procedural justice training for our supervisors. That's recommendation 1.1 on the President Obama's 21st Century Report. Recommendation 1.1 is procedural justice training. We did that. This year we have 5 trainers that are also trained in surviving verbal de-escalation, teaching our officers how to de-escalate a situation. We've seen it on TV, all of these officers at car windows doing things, officers getting caught up, getting all emotionally involved. So we decided, we went out to Chief Harry Dolan, the retired chief of Raleigh. He has a group called Dolan Consulting Group. We sent officers to his training to come back and train all of our employees in that. We engage in the best. Talking about reentry, one of the young men was talking about Operation Ceasefire. Operation Ceasefire is an old name for a program that started in Boston under Dr. David Kennedy. He's a Harvard-educated professor. He teaches at John Jay College. He came up with this group violence or gang violence reduction strategy. In Boston, it was called Operation Ceasefire. In High Point, it's called the High Point model. So they all have, ultimately it's called the violent crime reduction. We've been doing that for 4 years. Every February and August, we've been having violent crime reduction call-ins in the city, where we invite in our reentry folks from OIC, the Nash, Edgecombe, and Wilson Reentry Council, Second Chance Alliance, and other nonprofits, the reentry folks from the Triple P. So we bring all these folks in, and we bring in citizens, good citizens and ministers to talk to these guys. These are all people on probation. They are level 6, which means that's the highest level you can have for felonies, and most of them are level 3, also with misdemeanors. So they're at the threshold. Your next conviction will probably be an active sentence, and severe, especially if they reach the federal threshold. We bring these individuals in, we do the community appeal with some good community citizens. We bring in law enforcement, federal and state, but then we bring in these nonprofit providers and reentry. Give them a chance, learn them, teach them about services, teach them about opportunities. We give them a book with all the services in the community. So we've been doing what he called Operation Ceasefire. We call it our violent crime reduction call-in, twice a year. The next one is August 29th at 2 o'clock at the Rocky Mount Courthouse. Tuesday, August 29th at 2 o'clock. It's a great initiative. It's a national model. It's not the only thing that we do. We emulate several models that were created by Dr. Papa Christoph about how do we look at group violence. Papa Christoph is a Yale professor, and he talks about if you're friends or family member of someone that's ever been shot at, your likelihood of being shot at increases exponentially. So we take that data and we try to warn family members of people that have been involved in gang activity, hey, you might not want this person to come over to your house as much because by he or she coming there, they're putting a target on your home. So we try to stay involved in national models in preventing crime. But ultimately what we try to do, we try to reach out to our citizens. We were here just last week at Youth Connect, which is a beautiful program put on by OIC. Some of our officers came and spoke to the kids a couple times over the summer. I was a keynote speaker at their graduation. Good kids trying to learn how to be entrepreneurs. Good 18, 20-year-olds wanting to be entrepreneurs and learn how to start their businesses. So I think there are programs in our community here. There are a plethora of programs here from the GED program, job skill, job readiness. Just at this facility, we know that also at Peacekeepers in South Rocky Mount, they offer GED courses, college courses, job skill courses. So there are a plethora of programs in our community that really tries to help for skill building. I don't know all of them, but I know that there are many. Those are just 2 institutions. This facility and Church on the Rise, and I'm quite sure all of you know of many others. I thank the pastor for trying to do reentry work. Reentry work, if you don't understand what reentry means, reentry is for people who've been to prison or on probation is trying to allow them or give them some assistance when they re-enter society. Trying to help these folks get jobs and everything. I see some other partners from reentry that I've heard spoke before in the room. I'm not going to call them out in case they don't want to come up and speak, but it's a powerful tool to try to help young people say, hey man, it's not over just because you have a record. There are jobs that can be given, that can be gotten, there are job skills that can be achieved. But I want to end one thing, what I started with. I don't lie, I speak the truth. And I appreciate your support, and appreciate your support from the men and women of the Rocky Mountain Police Department. We've done the best we can to try to collaborate with you to enhance the quality of life in our city. Thank you.
Jay, I just want to, go ahead. I just want to reiterate that now this is why I come to these meetings and video, simply because look at what media is here tonight. Now tomorrow morning it'll probably be all over WHIG TV. Now I don't get paid to do what I do. I live in Pine Top, but I'm here tonight, and I've been out here doing this since the early '80s, and I know who's active, who's not, who the players. I know what all these guys are doing in law enforcement because I've been out here since the late '80s, so I know the story. But the problem is, we got two different things going on here. Now, it's a perception in the newspaper that people are creating that it may not be, those guys are not interacting together. So that's one discussion that needs to be brought forth and cleared, so you can promote that your law enforcement is either working together or is not. So that's one issue. And then again, I want to go back to, you talked about re-entry. I want to see something, come up with something that we can do with these kids. A lot of these things you're talking about doing, okay, they keep them doing today. But what is it actually doing to their mentality that they don't go out at night and do the things that they're doing? Now, this thing is not new, because I had cousins, little bit of cousins getting killed back in the late 80s. So this black on black crime and all this stuff is not new. But you make it appear to be new because it's in the paper today. But we have got to stop allowing other folks to choose our leaders, whether it be the chief, whether it be the council, and you got to start researching stuff for yourself. Now, it's a lot of history in Rocky Mount about racism. Now you don't know the whole story. If I'll say if I am, my name is Camille Stance, and just because you see me in the paper, I make a comment. Well, that person, whether it be a city councilman or a chief, may be hurting. So that brother stood here a while ago, he handled it very well. Somebody else might not handle it well because it was like it was an attack on him, which it was not. Because this is what we need to be doing here, voicing our opinion and listen to all sides. But when you see me in the paper and just because I'm bringing up about race, you don't know what I have gone through. And it is about race. And if anybody don't think that black and white don't make a difference, and when you get to the point that you think it's not important, then you got a problem. Because I just responded to something on Facebook about one race, the human race. That's a lie. See, these old sayings, we got to get past them. Once you get older and learn better, you got to do better. Ain't no such thing as one race, because every time I sign up for something, I got to put whether I'm a Negro or not. So don't be fooled. One blood, red. Yeah, that may be true, but we are not one. So we got to understand that we cannot allow the newspaper and different media to choose who our leaders are. And like I said, I spoke publicly, if the chief is not reporting correctly, I don't know, we know the investigation. I ain't choosing sides. But if he's reporting correctly, then we need to move forward and nip it in the bud. But we as black people don't need to be talking about it until we find out what the outcome is. He said he's not lying. I ain't saying he's lying. And all I'm saying is it's out there, y'all. So we need to make sure that these departments work together. They're here tonight. But it's a lot of, I know for a fact what I hear and see, and not just through the media. And it's a perception that they're not working together. So what we need to do is make sure they come together and work together. And I want to see statistics done in our area. All this statistics a while ago was all well and fine. But how can we deal with the issues in our area, Pine Top, Edgecombe County, anywhere, if we don't deal with what's actually going on in our area, get to the root of the problem? And that's the only way we're going to solve it. Like I said, the reentry program, it's working fine. But it's after the fact. I want to see something done, and it may not be nothing that can be done, but we need to come up with something. There's some brilliant folks. You ought to come up with something.
Good evening. I come to you this evening. I'm Mark McCoy, lifelong resident of Rocky Mount, retired 31-year employee of the City of Rocky Mount Police Department. First of all, you have to give credit and acknowledgement where it's due. JKelly, this young man, has stepped out and stepped beyond the rims of most young folks his age in order to have the nerve to even bring an issue or issues that we're talking about this evening to our communities. Let us all stand on our feet right now and give him a round of applause. Thank you. I don't think I'm going to need this mic because I talk real loud anyway. Okay? Something that Mr. Nash said concerning perception. Because if we think it, it is in fact our reality. That's what we believe. It has been the perception for the last 5 years that the Rocky Mount Police Department was not working hand in hand with the Nash County Sheriff's Office and the Edgecombe County Sheriff's Office. Well, the perception, in my opinion, was more right than not. Because I've had an opportunity to see it and live it firsthand. I am so glad that we have leadership in place at these agencies now that recognize the true value of coming together and addressing the issues of our community. It's no secret that yes, we have some race issues that are thriving in our jurisdiction and beyond. And guess what? They've always thrived in our jurisdiction and beyond. Does that mean we stop working at it? No, it doesn't. Does it mean that we do a quick Band-Aid application to whatever the issue is? No, it doesn't. It means that we have enough guts and enough intelligence to come together, sit down, and discuss what our indifferences are.
That's right.
Okay? This platform that this young man has put together for us will allow us to do that if we take advantage of it.
That's right.
I said, if we take advantage of it. Now, we can talk about what law enforcement is doing, what they aren't doing, all day long. But I'm going to give you this one for free. Law enforcement is charged with the responsibility of order maintenance in every community. That means when something goes astray and it has a law enforcement connection to it, the job of law enforcement, regardless if they're a county or a city, is to restore order maintenance to whatever's going on. And yes, that means they have to work together in order to do that. We as citizens, I'm talking to you right now from my citizen hat, okay? From my citizen hat, we have to actually demand
That's right.
that law enforcement work together.
That's right.
And we can do that because everybody reports to somebody. I don't think we're going to have an issue with the folks we got in place at this point because they value someone's voice other than their own. Okay? And you can put that where you think it needs to lie, right? But now, to ease away from the law enforcement perspective, let's talk about us as citizens. Let's talk about us as parents. This might step on a few toes, and if it does, walk it off, get over it, okay? More importantly, do something about it. When is the last time you as a parent have sat down and had a one-on-one conversation with your child? Okay, I can't answer that for you. Don't stop looking at me like you're being headlights. Okay, I can't answer that for you. You got to answer that for yourself. But if your answer to that question is, I don't know, you are facilitating part of the issues that's going on with our children today. Okay? And that's just how it is. When has the last time you as a big brother, how many big brothers in this room? Somebody a big brother to somebody? Okay. When is the last time you, big brother, had a face-to-face conversation with your baby brother? Not too long ago, been a while, hadn't really thought about it. We need to think about it, and we need to act on it. Let me tell you why. I'm glad you asked. That is because part of the resounding conversation we keep hearing about conflict resolution. Conflict resolution happens when folks don't have skill sets in order to talk out their issues. And once you stop talking, well, guess what? Ain't nothing else left to do but either start shooting or fighting. And we start acting foolish. Okay? We make bad decisions. So if we don't have the skill sets in order for our young folks to know how to sit down and talk about a problem, we are facilitating the problem. And if you as a parent, you as a big brother, even a big sister even, because everybody has to make this thing leave. Okay? How many folks in here have heard that charity starts at home?
That's right.
Everybody? Charity starts at home. Okay? Well, guess what? Part of charity is to make sure that we are facilitating and equipping our children to leave whatever doors they come out of in the morning or the evening, and when they come into this social environment, that they are ready and prepared to handle it. Part of the reason that they're having such problems is because they're not prepared. They're not prepared to handle it. And guess what? It is no quick fixes. Yes, programs are important. Reentry program, very important because if folks haven't been retooled when they come out to do something different than they were doing when they went in, chances are when they come out, they're going to start back doing the same type of things they were doing before they went in.
Exactly.
But ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to stand up in front of you this afternoon and say this to you. We have to take more responsibility. Can everybody say that word real loud for me? Responsibility.
Responsibility.
Okay? That won't loud enough. Responsibility. There you go, that's better. We got to take more responsibility for what we are producing out of our own homes, out of our own families. Because guess what? Every family in here, okay, has one or two negative kinfolk that we would prefer not to talk about. Am I telling the truth?
Exactly.
Everybody know like this? Yeah. But the real truth of the matter is, what are we doing to help those one or two that we have? And what are we doing to prevent from having one or two more? What are we doing? Michael Jackson came out with a song a few decades ago. I'm going to take a look at the man in the mirror. Anybody remember that song? I'm looking at the man in the mirror. Well, guess what? Men, and this is more for men than it is for our women in the room. Men, we are charged with an awesome responsibility when it comes to leadership. Okay? We cannot pass it off. We cannot act like that we have done our little segment of it and move on. Okay? I am the product of a fatherless home. If it had not been for community folks, family members stepping up, taking responsibility for my absentee father, it ain't no telling. It ain't no telling where I would have ended up. None whatsoever. There's a gentleman in this room right now, I ain't gonna call him out, but he know who I'm talking to. Because I grew up with his baby brother. We were knuckleheads, okay? Knuckleheads. If it had not been for himself, his younger brother and your older brother, and some other folks that took time and said, no, y'all ain't gonna do that. Or come here, let me talk to you then. Regardless of what they had going on in their lives, they took the time out to stop and put something positive in our lives, or just call us on our mess. How many guys here have been called on your mess before?
All right now.
Yeah. Okay. How many of you have called anybody on their mess recently?
All right now.
Okay. That's the question we really need to ask ourselves. Okay. Because yeah, we can always improve on the product that we got going on, but guess what? Guess what? It's now our responsibility to reach out to these young folks in here and put some wisdom in their minds and in their thoughts. Because if we don't, we are going to continue to have the devastation that we are seeing right now inside of our community. Yes, we are in a state of urgency. Okay? This auditorium should be full of folks. Okay? It should be full of folks. And regardless of what hue your skin might be, okay? This auditorium should be full of folks, right? But African American men, we got to reach back for our folks. We got to reach back for our people, our young males. We got to do it. It ain't no excuse. I don't care what no newspaper, television, radio station print, okay, or give us a recorded message of it. Because at the end of the day, all of us have a come to Jesus moment, what I call it. When you look in that mirror and it looks back at you, and you ask yourself, have I done everything that I can do in order to make my community safer, thriving, and have I done everything I can do to help somebody have a better quality of life? Because guess what? If it were not for somebody helping each and every one of us in this room, ain't no telling where we would be. Because some of us, I'm just going to call it like I said, because I don't pull no punches. Some of us want folks to think that we made it on our own.
Come on now.
Okay? We reached down, by our own bootstrap, and pulled our own self up. Okay? Lie. Everybody has some help. Well, guess what? If we are honest enough to say that we had some help, and God knows we needed some help, what makes us think with all our arrogance that these young folks today don't need no help? They need some help. Let's give it to them.
All right now.
Let's get ready to close. I just want to say, I think as we look at today, I think everybody got to take, like he said, you got to take Michael Jackson. Everybody got to look in the mirror in the morning and say, when I wake up, what can I do to make my community better today than it was yesterday? And I think I'm so grateful, I'm so thankful for this moment in my life. I'm so thankful for this platform that God has granted me the mindset to say, just go. You call these people out, you try to make your community better. Because when I tell God, I never want to leave this earth, God, every day I wake up, you grant me the greatest gift on earth, and that's 24 hours. So you give me the 24 hours, you give me the full tank of gas. But God, when I lay my head on the pillow, let it be on me. Let me give everything that's meant to do in those 24 hours. Let me do it. So I'm telling them, I'm far from perfect. But I keep telling God, I keep living and I keep getting better. I keep telling everybody in the room, I got some younger cousins, and I keep telling them all the time, I try to lead myself, I'm far from perfect. But I know they respect me, and I know I'm trying to lead the right way. So I want to say thank you to some men in this room that's a point of light in my life. Sir Anderson, ever since I was a Boy Scout, I was in 3rd grade, 8 years old, you've always been a point of light in my life, and I can't say thank you enough. Chief Dean, I say thank you, I haven't known you long, but I remember one time I was riding my bike at Thornridge, and I ended up in this house, and they say, well, do you want a mentor? I said, well, there's a mentor. I said, man, that helps you. I had a dad. My dad had to work because he had to provide. You was the first mentor that I ever had in life. And I say, thank you that never got so back connected to here. I thank you, Mr. Martin. I thank you, James, for what you do. Jeremy Jones, my daycare partner. And the guru, my hero in so many ways, I thank so much. This guy came into my life probably at 10 years old. And my dad, I think, is the greatest man I've met until I meet God. But my dad is my hero, but Coach Terrence is all, he's never told me nothing wrong in life, and I can't say thank you enough, Coach Terrence, for what you have done for me in 27 years of my life. I say thank you. And to my main man, he's my hero. That's Judge Sumner. Judge, I can't say thank you enough. Listen, never a time I call and I say, Judge, I need to see you. You say, well, come on up at 12 o'clock. And I'm only supposed to be here 10 minutes. I stay 2 hours. I just want to say thank you. For this turn from you being my professor to now you're like a family member. You're like a granddad that I never had. And Judge, you know, I don't tell you this much. In life, everything has been just right. But I'm still hunting for my granddad not being in my life. It's kind of weird, but I think that they'll come and take either one of us as a lifetime hero and mentor you, and I say thank you for that. To my wonderful friends, I say thank you, because whatever JKelly does, you always support, and I thank you guys so much for everything that you do. And to this community, Rocky Mount Police Department, Edgecombe County Sheriff's Department, Nash County Sheriff's Department, I want to say thank you. I just want to say thank you. And to my little cousins in the back, every day I wake up, I'm trying to inspire you guys, because I know it's on my shoulders. I say thank you guys for coming. And that's pretty much it, Mr. Dance. I want to say thank you for whatever I do, whatever movement I do on Facebook, whatever you're always pushing, you always support the movement. And what you do for free. I can't thank you enough for what you do. So I want to just say thank you, but I want to say to every man in this room, whatever you do, you feel you can do more. Look in the mirror tomorrow and tell yourself, what can I do to change what's around me? What can I do better? Because we gotta change the conversation in the African American community. I saw OSC yesterday, Sir Patterson, and we're gonna be up out of here. And there was guys that was 30 years old, there were 20-year-olds, and now it's to the point I don't really got time to talk about this, man. I want to talk about how can we push this culture down. They was out there talking. He said, well, then, I heard a guy say, well, she came through my room last night. She's 30 years old. She was talking about how can we empower this community. We got to change the conversation. And like you say, black folks want to reach back, and we're lost. So you got to actually be too far lost. I don't know. But I know as a man, every time I look in the mirror, wash my face, I tell God, use me how you use me. Let me push this culture. When I die, I just want to say, God, I gave it my all. I done my all. I gave it my all. So I want to tell everybody when you get home, you make sure you have a what, a why, and a how. And life will treat you well. And I'm still learning. I'm still working. But you guys continue to pray for me as I continue to pray for you that Rocky Mountain gets better, this community gets better. I don't know what life will take me 12 months from now, but I know it's something great. I'm just living. And I tell them every day, God has already wrote the story. I'm just living. So any kid that feels you've been written off, I heard E.B. Johnson say in a statement, whenever you write a story and you put a period, it ends. So that means life's ending. But if you put the comma, it's more to be continued. So don't put the period in your life. Whatever you're going through, whatever challenges you may have in life, whatever dodgeball life may have, whatever you do, life will always go to strikes. There's one thing you can't stop life from being life. But you never strike out. You always get on base. You're not going to always knock out the home run, but always get on base. Don't forget it. And that's it. I want to thank all of you for coming out. That's all I have to say. Until next time. Thank you.